Hey everybody, welcome to Spikey Saturday number 304 on the Man of Leek. I'm John as always, and there we go. I wasn't sure if I started too early. We're here. We're actually going to play through a whole draft of Innistrad Crimson Vow. I think Inspired Idea is actually really good. I think people are going to see the maximum hand size being reduced and worry about that. I don't think it's that big of a deal because you don't often have that many cards left in your hand. This pack actually looks kind of bad to me. No. Maybe in the conversation? No. Maybe in the conversation. Probably in the conversation. No. Yeah, so it's Dormant Grove or Inspired Idea here. I want to test the Inspired Idea, but I don't know if I want to test it that badly just yet, so I think I might just take the Dormant Grove. I know how this card works. I have played with it, and it's been decent. So let's take the Dormant Grove. I'll let somebody else try the Inspired Idea for now. This is around my 6th draft, as I said. The draft, of course, that you saw on Thursday, I didn't even get to complete. They deleted the drafts, reimbursed my entry fee, but not my excitement to actually play with that deck. So that was a shame. We've got a Cloaked Cadet here with ways of putting +1/+1 counters on things anyways, even if we don't end up in a training deck. It's going up against a Foreboding Statue, which should be a high pick. This should be in almost any of your decks, even if you're 2 colors. It's going to ramp you. It's going to fix your colors if you're splashing. It becomes a 5/5 when it's no longer relevant. These should not stay in packs for very long. Beyond the Cadet, there's a Lacerate Flesh, which I think you want 1 of, and that's about it. Kindly Ancestor's fine, but yeah, we'll take the Cloaked Cadet. Kind of stay on our plan for now. 3rd pick, we get a Blood Tithe Harvester, which is really good and suggests that one of these people took a rare. Of course, now everybody is Nicol Bolas. One of these people took a rare, and the other said they did not want to jump into Black-Red just yet. Now, there is a Wolf Strike here, which is basically the best green common in the entire set. And so I think we probably just take that. Because it goes with what we already have. Not that we're totally married to these just yet. But it should be good. And we'll figure out what a second color is at some point. But if good green stuff like that keeps coming, I'm good. You might notice me bouncing around a little bit more. I was in this chair all day. Or that chair, rather, all day. So I'm standing up. I haven't used my standing desk in a long time since I got the actual comfortable chair. There's a Mischievous Catgeist here, which is fine. Versus a Grisly Ritual, which again, you kind of want 1 of. It's not Web, it's not Bows, it's not Anger, it's not Dissenter, it's not Scab, it's not Monstrosity, it's not Sanctify, it's probably not Heron of Hope. It's definitely not Bride's Gown. So it's Catgeist or Grisly Ritual here. Grisly Ritual here. And I think Catgeist just has a better upside. You only want 1 Grisly Ritual. These should go a little bit later because they are so expensive to actually cast. Doing pretty decently over 6 drafts or so. I have a 66.666666667% win rate. What do we get here? We get a Sawblade Slinger, which is okay. And then randomly in some matchups, it's real good. It's also a human, which can be very relevant. It's better than a wolf. It's better than a rural recruit, I would say. It's better than a servitor. It's better than Massive Might. It's better than the blue cards. It's better than the white cards. I don't know that it's better than these 2 black cards. These are 2 totally fine black cards. This one's actually really good if you get into like the blood token deck, which we're pretty far off of here. And so I think I'm actually going to just stake my claim in green and get rewarded with a very late Weaver of Blossoms. I don't know why I get these late, but I get them really late, and I tend to get a couple of them. These let you ramp, which is incredible because there's some very costly spells that are very good, and they let you splash. They let you splash really easily. So we take this now. We're going to ramp into stuff. This is now a 4-drop if this comes down on turn 3. And yeah, it's going to let us take some very powerful cards out of future packs, even if we're not 100% in those colors. because my early experience with this draft format is that bomb rares matter. How do we play the bomb rares that we get in pack 3? Well, with a Weaver of Blossoms, or that statue, or the Aura, or the 2-drop Mana Dork, or an Evolving Wilds, or a Mulch. Green has a lot of really good ways to do that stuff. I think we'll take a Spiked Ripsaw here. This card's nowhere near Plate Armor. Never, ever, ever getting the discount of Plate Armor makes Plate Armor much worse, but it's still totally fine. I've also really liked this Hunter. It's quite decent. Mulch is fine. Evolving Wilds is something that we're also going to want in virtually every deck, but we'll take the Spiked Ripsaw here. And at some point, we'll figure out a second color. Probably. Maybe. I am hoping to get another of the draft-focused fast recap videos up for next week. I'm going to need to record that tonight because I want to watch Desert Bus most of the rest of the week. So I don't really want to be recording after tonight, so we'll see. Here, the red cards are not great. Is this the wheel? This is not the wheel, so there's probably a Blood Hypnotist in the next pack too. These red cards are not great. This white card's not great. This blue card's bad. Somebody in the Sweatsuit Invitational last night picked this. Pack 1, pick 1 over Anya. The person who got past that Anya went very far into the semifinals. So I'm on Rural Recruit or Honored Heirloom here, and I think we can just take the Rural Recruit. We'll get our splashing. We've already taken our first step towards our splashing, so I think we're good there. So this is a chance to like step into white. This card's not as insane as I think some people worried about, but it's still pretty good. It's better than a Malice. It's better than a Betrayal. It's better than a Bramble Armor. I don't think we have to take a Mulch here. I don't think we have to take a Sporeback Wolf here. So we'll take this just in case we end up in white. We've made literally no commitment to getting into white by taking that, though. Cradle of Safety is good. We know that because it's Starlit Mantle. It's basically Snakeskin Veil. I don't really like Retrieve. Moldgraph Millipede can be okay in a very specific deck. But I'll take the Cradle of Safety. That's going to give us 2 blue cards, but again, not in any way lock us into those colors. We get a Skywing or a Sky Warp Scab, which could be okay, or a second Shield Basher. The Shield Basher does train well if we get some more green trainees and white trainees. So we can take a look at that, but I don't know that we're in white just yet. I do know that we're in green, and a Witch's Wep would be fine, maybe in the sideboard. Probably not in the main board. I don't think this card's very good, and this card's sideboard only. Massive Might could see some play. And an Unholy Efficient. All right, pack 2. See, we took our Weaver of Blossoms so that we can splash the bomb rare that we opened. Investigator's Journal is good. I've played it, and it does everything you want and more. So we're going to take it here. There's a Wolf Strike that I would also prefer. It's probably the second best card in this pack. And there's literally nothing to put us in another color. The blue cards are bad. The black cards are bad. Extraordinarily bad. The white cards are okay. And the red cards are okay. The green cards are the best cards in this pack. And unfortunately, we're going to pass that Wolf Strike. But I'm not passing a whole bunch of card draw. Okay. This is a reason to take a look at red-green. This card's really good. Huge mana sink. Huge late game stuff. Really great card there. The blue is not exciting. The Circle of Confinement is very good. I just don't know that I'm jumping into white for an erstwhile shield, but 2 erstwhile Shield Bashers and a kill an early creature. Is it CMC? It's CMC 3, not power. Yeah, I'm going to take that child just in case we can get into red-green wolves. And we may not. We may not. Rural Witness has been fine. I'd like to lower and mid my curve a little bit, because surprise, this format currently is the fastest format ever on Arena. And almost as play-dependent as cube, which is terrifying. I might take the Flourishing Hunter here just because I would like to have one. It will train well if we end up with more trainers, if we end up in green-white. It's a wolf in case we end up in red-green. I'm not missing anything else here. Second Weaver? I'll take a second Weaver. I'm still not picking a second color yet. Not remotely. I think I'm edging towards red for the one child of the pack, although we can now splash this child of the pack really easily. And it is mildly splashable. The white card's okay. The green cards, I don't... Well, actually, I wouldn't mind another trainer. Or trainee, as it were. And it continues to keep us open. The rare, unfortunately, is terrible. No reason to take our first black card yet. The red cards aren't that good. So yeah, let's take another trainee. 2 of them in a row. Dawnheart Disciple. Ooh, a Griff Rider. Okay. Now I see white-green training showing up. So let's maybe get rid of these blue cards. And let's start to think that maybe we're green-white. We get a Kindly Ancestor. Or a Dawnheart Disciple. Or if we think there's a chance of us still being red-green, we could take a Belligerent Guest, which is also decent. Pretty decent. Blood tokens concern me a little bit in this format. It feels like they may have given red-black access to a specific type of token that's very important again. But we'll take the Kindly Ancestor here. Get rewarded with a super late Fierce Retribution. And there we go. We're green-white. This card's not good. This card's not good. This card's very good. Vampire Slayer is a card that we can play. There's nothing else here that I care about. Don't really want a third one of those. So we'll take a Might. And this pack's not horrendous, or this deck is not horrendous, and we still have an entire third pack with a great ability to splash with a pair of Weaver of Blossoms. What I really want now are just 2 drops. Just give me 2 drops. None of those are 2 drops. We'll take a Nebelgast Beguiler in case we need to go like late game tap down. Crushing Canopy for the sideboard. Hell yes. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any rares in my deck, which... I guess Investigator's Journal. I'm not seeing any bomb rares in my deck, which is, I think, a problem in this format. So let's see what we get pack 3. Ideally, we get a bomb rare that is green or white, and then we get past a bomb rare that we can splash. That's mildly hard to splash, but also not actually that hard to splash, because if we flip the Blossomclad Werewolf, it just taps for black. And that is a bit more splashable than the Child of the Pack. Am I missing anything by taking this? The green card's mediocre. It's fine, but it's not what I want to be pack 1 pick 1-ing. There's a Sigarda's Imprisonment, which would be a bit of removal, and a Circle of Confinement. I am missing some things if I take this. And I don't think I quite have enough to splash the Purveyor. So we will take the Imprisonment. We get past another unsplashable and honestly not that good rare. So that's unfortunate. We get another Sigarda's Imprisonment though. I'll take more removal. More removal is always good. And this is currently our deck. And it's not bad. Another Sigarda's Imprisonment. It is Sigarda's Imprisonment number 3 or Hookhand Mariner. We're at 13 creatures right now. Our removal is Imprisonment, Imprisonment, Retribution, Light, Wolf Strike. That's a lot of removal. I just don't really want 4-drop. I don't want 1-drop. I don't want that 1-drop either. It appears maybe I should have been black. No, we opened good black and passed. We haven't gotten much good black other than that. So we'll take that Hookhand Mariner. I just don't know that it makes our deck. An Oakshade Stalker probably will make my deck. Or a Spore Crawler, maybe? This is a 3-3 that sometimes is going to be a 6-3, which is virtually a 3-3, unless your opponent has no creatures on the board. Yeah, we don't really care about it otherwise. Whereas this is a 3-2, which will draw us a card. Let's pick that up. Brambleworm, well, that's something to ramp into. It's a real good card right there. And Fierce Retribution, but we'll take a Brambleworm. But I am a little bit worried. We simply do not have any bomb rares in any way, shape, or form. So we have to hope that we're not paired up against bomb rares. Because I think they do, from what I've seen over 6 drafts, which again is early. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? They do appear to dominate the format. All right, I think we take out Sawblade Slinger and we can side it in if we're up against zombies or if there's a terrifying artifact that we want to destroy. These are all pretty meh. We could take a Sanctify for the side. Does Crushing Canopy only kills artifacts, right? Oh, only kills enchantments. Okay. No. Maybe. No, we already have one. We'll take an Adamant Will. I don't know if it'll make the deck or not. Yeah, we should have been black. Let's grab this Crucible Ritual. I'm not going to play the Millipede. Oh, I get it. It's a Millipede. Witch's Web. We'll also put this Witch's Web in the side. I think we'll put this Massive Might in the side. I'll have to take a look on if I want Trample or if I want Indestructible. And I feel like I probably just want Indestructible. Like, that's got Trample. That's got Trample. Yeah, we don't need that. Certainly don't want that, Wolf. Okay. Interesting draft. Deck feels a little weak. This is a very, 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 very princely format. This is 2-3 lifelink. Give something else lifelink. This would be great with lifelink. This would be great with lifelink. This maybe will train up and be great with lifelink. This would be great with lifelink. Many things would be great with lifelink. We've got 16 creatures. We can afford to cut at least one. Probably somewhere in this range. I feel like it should just be Rural Recruit. I don't think it's a good card. But it has training, and I want to put counters on it, but no. Because I would have to explicitly have this out to get the counters. And we're getting counters off of the Dormant Grove, and on the Sharpshooter, and on the Griff Rider. The other cut probably will also be a creature. But which one? Also, we don't need to play 3 mountains. We can play 1 mountain. 1 mountain and 2 Weaver Blossoms. Boop and boop. So that's 8, 9, 17. Let's get rid of... Sporeback Wolf looks the worst, but I want 2 drops. It doesn't block, though. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that. I'm worried. No bomb rares. So let's see if we can just dodge bomb rares. Speaking of bomb rares, I had a deck that had a Caretaker of Avabrook and a Hullbreaker in it. I did not 3-0 because of land issues in match 1. Match 2 and match 3 were no contests in my favor. But match one, I had 16 total turns over 2 games, and I drew 7 lands over those 16 turns over 2 games. This hand is not keepable. That sucks. Let's get rid of the Adamant Will. Let's get this down. Have our piercing light up. Runebound Wolf. Well, we'll certainly piercing light that when it comes on in. I want to build this deck so badly. Just like nothing but wolves and then tap this to just ping. It'd be great. What saves this? Not much. Yeah, I'll draw you because you're going to come down in like 2 turns. As long as this Weaver lives. Courier Bat, that's fine. Let's drop my Weaver. So currently we're going Weaver into Chainsaw. Gonna take 2. Fearful Villager, okay. So let's not make it night for a little bit. Let's drop a Ripsaw. We are going to take 4 here, though. And vroom vroom aggro set. I should actually show you the graph. Again, extraordinarily early, low data. And by low data, I mean only like 2,000 drafts or 2,000 games of this set. But here is the data I'm referring to. This way is the win rate on the play. So Vow is the most play-dependent win rate ever on Arena so far, other than Cube. And it is also the fastest, because that is the vertical axis that is not Cube. Again, Cube is an outlier. So yeah, fastest and most play-dependent, which is something I hope changes. I really hope that changes. All right, we're going to gain some life. We're going to get down a good blocker. And then we're going to try to get back into this. I'd just like to point out that I have 6 mana, and I played a 6/6, and our opponent's been stuck on 3 lands, and I'm the one who's very much in trouble. But hey, they haven't played a bomb rare yet, so we got that going for us. Take another 4. Ragged Recluse, okay. When they discard a card, it's going to flip. More lands. Hooray. Let's go Dormant Grove. And I think we'll just jam a counter on that Hunter, which will let us flip the Dormant Grove. And will let us come in for 7. They'll probably get themselves a blood token here, I think. And the next turn we'll shove the Chainsaw on the Grove Strider, probably. If they can do much for 2 mana. 2 mana in red. Actually, if they had Sure Strike, they could have Sure Strike double blocked, lost all of their creatures, and killed it, but I'm gonna guess they might not have had that. They're just going to come in for 2. That's great. Because I think this race has maybe changed a bit. Yeah. Especially with this ripsaw going on. So we can make that a 10-10. 2, 4, 6, 8. So yeah, let's make it a 10-10. And we can actually sack a forest and just give this trample. Because why the hell not? I have a 10-10 trample. What you gonna do about it? Gonna block here and take 9? You could do that. It's well within your right. You're just gonna take it. All right. Let's drop a Hook Hand Mariner. Pass that turn. And I think we'll do another 10 trample next turn. Am I gonna wreck myself if I do that? Doesn't really matter, because they just went away. But that's something to know. Actually, I don't have to check 17 lands. I can check Arena now. Yeah. We only have that 1 double green card. That's important for sacking forests. Let's get back in. I'm not putting in a Crushing Canopy for 2 Courier Bats. Ooh, they're checking cards as well. I'm not putting in Witch's Web for 2 Courier Bats. We have we have removal. We have the Piercing Light. We have the Apprentice Sharpshooter. We have the Griff Rider. We have stuff. Yeah, I think we just go back in. That was a quick mull. Yeah, we got Piercing Light up. We got Vampire Slayer, not Vampiric. Not Vampiric yet. Am I right? Any land, and these are on 2 lands, and that's on. Sounds good. Any land. Any land, and these are on. Any land. Any land. I will say that's the other thing. Land issues have been just as prevalent and utterly backbreaking. So, you know, be lucky and hit your land drops. Especially when dealing with werewolves. We're dead. That was a fun game. That was a fun game decided on turn 2. Turn 3, I guess. Fun magic. Guess I'll take 8 on turn 4. Yes, I'll take 8 on turn 4. What do? You every time you attack? Every time you attack. And you're a menacer? Let's get rid of that first. Alright, 1 thing down. We bought ourselves 3 turns at the moment. Taken 4. Nothing. I like nothing. Nothing is good. We can play a Weaver on the night side. That's probably just going to get immediately bled dry. Or down fell. Now we have 1 turn. No turno. Uno turno. Format is so disappointingly fast. Ugh. So disappointingly fast. I could have sworn this format was going to be slower. I really, really, really thought it was going to be slower. We're dead. We're dead. There's no point in playing this one out. Let's get going into game 3. I'm not putting in a canopy for the hearse. I don't respect the hearse. I think the hearse is bad. Although Sawblade Slinger. I'll put in a 4/3 that'll kill the hearse. All right, let's go back in. Let's not have land issues, I guess. And let's hope we don't take 8 on turn 4. Go back 10 years and tell your limited playing self that on turn 4, taking 8 damage is just going to be a thing that's going to happen. These are the keeps that I hate in modern limited Magic. There's literally no way you should ever be punished for this. Keeping 2 landers where literally any land will wildly unlock your mana. That is not how limited Magic used to work. Whereas if we miss that 1 land drop, we may take 8 damage on turn 4. But in the grand scheme of things, you keep these. Because it's something like 70% that we will have that 3rd land by turn 3. Plus we can hit 2 drops and other stuff. At least we're only taking 1. Discard a Brambleworm. Yep. Take 8 on turn 4. Take 8 on turn 4. Take 8 on turn 4. And now we die. Like, I chump and take 4 and go to 7, which means they're threatening lethal, and I have to hit a land to go to 3. Guess what? Guess what the rarity of this card is? Guess what they played and I did not play? That is deeply unfortunate if this doesn't change. It's day 1. This is day 2. There's tons and tons and tons of time for this to change. Luckily, like I said, I have a 67% win rate. Most of the rares have been on my side. Well, I guess we could take 8 here. Most of the rares have been on my side, hence the I'm going to leave this game now. Hence the 67% win rate. But I identified that I was winning because the rares are unreasonable and pretty damn bomby. So let's go into game 2. Match 2, sorry. And see what we can do. Because I'm not a big fan of taking 8 on turn 4. I don't think that should happen in limited. All right, let's not keep that one. Oh, imagine 3 lands in our opening hand once. Like this, but without us having to throw away a card. Let's get rid of that Shield Basher. We've got a second one. Panicked Bystander. Okie dokes. Well, we're going to show that bystander the light. See the light! A 4th land? I don't actually need that land that desperately just yet. We're going to be on 4 mana with our Weaver. Enjoy your life. Twinblade Geist. Good to know. This card can be frustrating, but also can get just blown the hell out. I will say I found the auras about where I expected them, that they're really, really, really easy to blow out. Like, we'll probably blow this Twinblade Geist out with this Wolf Strike at some point. We are going to start, however, I think with the Investigator's Journal and holding up the Wolf's... No, not holding up the Wolf Strike, because they're going to get to attack me and tap. So I think we'll just get that Griff Rider down as well. And then they can tap my Griff Rider, that's fine. And they can hit me for 4. Another panicked bystander, okay. Okay. I could pass the turn, flipping this, letting me draw cards, hold up Wolf Strike, etc. It's not the worst of ideas. Let's do that. Because they'll attack and tap the werewolf, and I'll happily throw the Griff Rider in front of the Distracting Geist, I think. Tap my wolf. I will tap my wolf myself, thank you very much, to draw a card. Dormant Grove, okie dokes. Yeah, the tapper needs to go. Goodbye, tapper. That's 1 life, so he's not flipping yet. We got a Griff Rider, okie dokes. And a land. And a pass. Sounds good. Got ourselves another land. Let's get a Kindly Ancestor down. Pass that turn, and we've got 4 mana available. Probably, maybe for this Wolf Strike, we'll have to see. They're just going to attack me for 2. I'm a fan of that, because that gives me time. Traveling Minister? Sure. You're going to equip that up? No dice. No dice. And hey, would you look at that? We just blew out an aura. Well, Cloaked Cadet looks like one heck of a blocker here. So let's Cloaked Cadet. Plus then next turn we can start Dormant Groving, putting counters on our only human, I guess. And drawing cards. Drawing cards, right? Drawing cards. You're going to attack me, are you? I'll block. Easy peasy. Cool. Hooray. Then you're going to put that on your bystander? Sure. No biggie. No biggie. All right, so we can Dormant Grove. So he'll be a 3/5, which means I just don't really care about the Panicked Bystander. Sounds good to me. Oh, that's pretty rude. It's pretty rude. Pretty rude. Well, let's get a counter on the Weaver. We are not going to attack. I would prefer not to give that Weaver up to the Bystander, but we'll see what happens. So I think we're just going to pass the turn and Investigator's Journal. I guess they can always pump the Bystander, which is dumb. So it's actually coming in for 6. I think I still will just shove this in front, though. Like, you gotta have a combat trick to get rid of this. Sure. It's not the biggest of deals. Do we don't still have the Piercing Light, do we? Let's go boop. Well, no, let's go boop boop, and then we can hold up. Any color of mana. It's not going to matter, though. 4, 5, 6. We'll need to find a land to get Brambleworm down. But hey, we did. Hooray. What removal do you have now? Is it none? Because it looks like none. Resistance Squad? Sure. Draw a card. Seems a little early, but I'll take it. And hey, look what our opponent didn't do. They did not play any rares. And we did. Okay. So, green what? Or black white? We see any zombies? Did we see any black cards? No. Okay. Um, I don't hate a crushing canopy. We did see a flyer. We saw some auras that I wouldn't hate blowing up. And I think we'll cut out maybe just one of these shield bashers, lower our curve just ever so slightly. All right, let's go back in. Let's dodge bombs. So yeah, so the ideal I think is that I'll be doing those fast drafts probably on like Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I think, kind of midweek. And I'm going to try to get one of those up every week, in addition to the Spikey Saturday drafts. And of course, you can always find me over at twitch.tv/themanaleek, where we have a good old time. We do sweatsuit invitationals Thursday evenings at about 7 p.m. Eastern. And we do a big long stream Thursday afternoon starting at 3, where we just draft. And we do marbles, and we give away playmats, and I've got some arena pack codes left to give away. Might be having some other updates of other possible giveaways on the Twitch stream. Yeah, again, like, we should not be punished by keeping a 2-lander with, like, available 3-drops and interaction on 2. Statistically, it shouldn't happen. However, I feel like those 0.07% chances happen to me a lot. I might Fierce Retribution this Hopeful Initiate. We'll see. Resistance Squad? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really want that training. And we've got some really good kind of slow everything down with 2 Sigarda's Imprisonments in hand as well. And if we hit a land, actually we don't even need to hit a land to get Child of the Pack down. We've got our red now. We'll take 3. Okay. Do you train? You train as well? It's pretty gross. I don't want to take 6, so we are going to imprison the cavalry here. And we're not blocking, so we'll get in for 2. You do not have, like, main deck enchantment hate. That is not a thing you have right now. Thank you. Desperate Farmer, sure thing. Broom's Finery, sure. So something's going to be having +2/+0. So they're probably going to have a 4/2 lifelinker. Man, I kind of just want to hold up the Adamant Will and just wreck them. That is asking to get a little wrecked by removal. Let's do Child of the Pack first. Maybe a 2/5 slows their roll a little bit. Their 4/2 may not be able to come in quite as readily. If their 4/2 does come in, then they have something, and we'll probably just take it like a chump. Gross. Gross. We get to Weaver and hold up Adamant Will here. This might be our breathing room. Especially if their turn is just like equip finery, attack, pass. There's no way you're putting it on the resistance squad, because then you can't attack with your farmer. You're not even going to put it on. Keskala what? A block? What's your plan here? What is your plan here? Maybe their plan is to just flip the farmer. I mean, let's find out what their plan is. Because if their plan is to flip the farmer, then we've got the imprisonment for the farmer. Your own adamant will. All right. Well, your farmer's not even flipping. So this turn just didn't happen. All right. So that flyer now looks like a threat, unfortunately. Because it will attack me for 3. God, if we could just stop having frickin' land issues. It would make things so much easier. It would make things so much easier. Well, the cadet blocks the squad. We only take 3, and then the farmer flips, and then we have to figure out what to do about that. But then we can imprison. Well, no, we're going to take... No, because they can't put finery on the rider. Well, putting finery on the rider just gives them an extra 2 points. Yeah, I think we have to do this and see where we can go. But man, am I sick of land issues in Magic. People will often say, and I've talked about this a lot, but people will often say that land issues have always existed in Magic. But they're far more pronounced in the past few years because the cards have gotten so good. And so you just simply cannot have a land issue in your game. If you have a land issue in your game, you are dead almost instantaneously. Like, pack it up, the game is over because you had the gall to have a land issue. And yeah, here we are on turn 4, 5, 6. They've missed some land drops. We're on at least turn 7 or 8 here, and we're on 4 lands. So, we could Dormant Grove, draw a card, block, and take a metric shit ton. We could imprison the Menacer, block, and die. Yeah, looks to me like we just die. Let's stop having land issues. It's so frustrating in a game that I pay money to play. Make it cost less, and it's much less frustrating. Because you don't see your financial future of your content going down the toilet. Oh boy. Let's not have land issues. At least we didn't die to a rare there, right? It was all commons and uncommons. Play first. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. I would also just, I would kill to not have a set that shows up this low on the speed and this far on the play advantage. Yeah. I hope that that's an accident that these sets have all been this fast. And I hope it's not an intentional change. I really hope it's not an intentional change. Do you want to trade? Bet you don't. Alright, here's my 7 power on the board. 7 power on the board on turn 4. With 2 commons. Alright, so they 2'd me. Probably just indicating they have no plans on blocking. Socialite, sure. So this is what we refer to as a race. Take 7. Also, I'm going to block your Griff Rider. And I don't think they're even attacking me. Leaving me with 9 on the crackback seems probably bad. You're going to imprison the Mariner. Okay. Sure. Sack your token. No sack of the token. Okay. Block. So I can still drop him to 5 here. And I will. Especially because we're going to gain 4, 5 off this hunter. In we go. Sounds good. We get to draw a card. They are going to get to put double strike up on their Griff Rider, but that's fine. Like, I'm at 20. They're at 8. I can take 6. You can take 6, no problem. Especially because the sharpshooter is going to come in as a 3-5. Like, we're coming in for 9 here. On turn 6, 7. Man, creatures are big. Desperate Farmer, okie dokes. You're gonna make yourself a 3/3 double striker, eh? Okay, so your plan is to block my hunter. That'll flip your farmer. That's fine by me. Let's get rid of that double striker. You're gonna drop to 5. You've got your lifelinker, well done. I've got my creatures. And, yeah. Now it becomes who draws better first, and guess what they have access to? Even more card draw. I'm hoping it gets better, and I'm well aware it is extraordinarily early in the set's lifespan, which means there's tons of time for stuff to shake out. But I will say my first impressions have been, it feels like 2021 Magic. I have a sneaking suspicion they're just looking to gain life here. So I think I can put my Slayer and Weaver in front of that Harvester. Like, I don't think I can take 7. This is a fantastic example of my issue with modern Magic. You never had to make combat decisions of, do I block and worry about a combat trick, or do I take 8 damage? It was, do I block and worry about a combat trick and take 3 or 4 damage? That's nuts. That inflation of stats is what I'm powerfully not a fan of. Alright, so what does it do now? Gets a death touch on command, and now we flood out. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Not attacking. That 9 lands in my top 15. All right. Told you. Land issues are incredibly still existent. I got a turn, and they've got a metric crap ton of card draw. I think Brambleworm gets me out of this. Well, for various definitions of gets me out of this. This is going to be O2? This is match 2, isn't it? This is going to be an O2. What a crappy way to start Spikey Saturday. Hopefully the fast video goes better. And hopefully this format gets better, because I think it might be... I think it might just be more of the same. And there's no excuse for it being just more of the same. So we can kindly ancestor block the culprit. We could also double block the blood crazed socialite. This is kind of our only real option here. Gain some life. Go to 2. In. We got a double block there. This puts us to 2. They get to kill them both. Cool. Don't have land issues, folks. Don't have land issues or you just lose the game. You lose the game with no chance. That is so frustrating. I don't like that. I don't like that. Do you like that? I don't think any of you like that. Okay. We went 1 and 2. No, we do still have 1 game remaining, and we're not playing it. That was unfortunate. Sorry. I promise. If we go to my data, I had, anyways, I had a 66% win rate. That O2 just murdered it. Yeah. Let me know how Crimson Vow is going for you. Let me know if your experiences are the same as mine, where it feels incredibly bomby and incredibly fast and incredibly play dependent and incredibly 2021-y. Maybe 2022 will be better. But there's plenty of times for this format to grow and change. And as people will get better at it, then maybe the decks will interestingly get worse, because then people aren't passing ludicrous things like Anya, pack 1, pick 1 for some friggin' reason. Yeah, let me know how it's going for you. I'll be back sometime early next week for one of those fast recap drafts, and then Spikey Saturday, fast recap, Spikey Saturday, fast recap. That's I'm going to hope be the cadence of video releases. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, all those good things, and I'll see you all next time.